over at the bottom lane is a Taric after all, so being able to not get locked down by Darkness will actually sometimes help him win the team fights. But not having the extra roughly 200 health barrier up might be a little bit detrimental in terms of his trade with Choi there.
So we are going to see SGS take out the split route. They're going to split up here. Azubu TPA Assassins has been running the same strategy of sticking together and invading the enemy jungle a couple of times. We're going to see whether they try to do that again.
Hi here, going to throw down a ward. They have spotted Azubu TPA Assassins walking around the Baron area. TPA going to play it safe, going to just run up. There might be a lane swap going down. We do see BB and Dinter still around the area. TPA Assassins just going to do their regular walk in the park. The enemy jungle's park this time. Gonna just walk in, throw down some wards, and walk out. There we go. The first ward has been planted. TPA here gonna just walk out because they are aware that SGS knows of their positioning right now. And SGS here gonna respond to that by camping the enemy blue.
Right, so they have a couple of wards here. Oh my goodness, does this ward not give vision of the brush? It does seem that way.
That is one awkward ward over there. SGS here going for a very interesting level 1 here. Gonna just camp in an area when almost no one has walked to during the early game checks.
Wow, I think Toys could be in trouble here. Let's have a look at what they try to do. Toys gonna start on the Wolves. Dinter here, it could be the one who gets caught out, and we're gonna see the stun come in. Hallelujah leads the charge. They're gonna even flash in for the kill here. Exhaust goes down on Dinter, but the rest of the team is gonna be there. Hallelujah now with the ignite on him. He's gonna be first blooded. Darkness now in trouble as he gets picked up, and that is going to be a 2-0 here for the Azubu TPA Assassins very early on. SGS Chowie now forced to be on the retreat.
Yeah, that is actually a good strategy that SGS implemented, but TPA responded just way too fast. You can see the team that is doing raids is actually totally abandoned the raids just to move over to help the Toys and Dinter over there to prevent them from getting killed.
Right, we're going to see Chowie go up against Toys here in the bottom lane. So they have gone for that lane swap, going to send the AD carry and support against HY in the mid lane. So as I was saying, the Azubu TPA Assassins no stranger to lane swaps, and this one seems to be well in their favor.
Yep, and I do think TPA Assassins is actually the team that brought lane swaps into the GPL. They were the first few teams to actually pull it off successfully. And now they are just coming to show their prowess in this kind of gameplay, playing extremely aggressively on HY. He isn't really able to farm. He still is able to farm actually, sitting on 9 CS as compared to Diana's 7 CS.
Toy's getting a lot of poke here from Chowie. So Chowie, despite him being solo in the lane, has managed to do pretty well there in terms of just keeping Toys pressured. Oh my goodness, we're going to miss a kill there over in the jungle. Sarsky managed to pick up a kill on Hallelujah, and we're going to see a lot of pressure be put down in the middle lane here.
Yep, and TPA here doing extremely well in the early game, and in the GPL we haven't really seen a team which is able to win TPA Assassins if they do not win the early game. I actually haven't seen any team able to win TPA Assassins if they don't win the early game.
Right, Sarsky taking a lot of hits from the turret there. Not quite sure what that was about. He tried to cut off HY, but it really didn't work out.
They're going to take some extra damage for nothing, but now TPA will go on the aggression onto the mid lane. Turret is already down half health. Malphite here going to teleport into the lane to prevent the turret from taking too much damage. They're going to turn on the ground slam to clear out the creep waves. And now TPA is forced to back as the minion waves has reset.
So Tofu here, as expected against a Renekton, he is going to get bullied early on. And he's going to have to wait till the later levels before he actually can start to hold his own against that Crocodile.
And now he is sitting on level 4. I think the game will start turning around over at the top lane once the Rumble hits around level 8 or 7 when his Flame Spitter is at about level 4. Because that will be able to deal decent amount of damage. And Hallelujah going in for the engage. Great repel, they're going to dodge the stun coming down, but it does not save his life as the three men just pile onto each other to ensure that the Spider has to land on either one of them.
Right, that was a really nice move there from Darkness. realizing that Chowie can actually handle toys one-on-one pretty handily here. And oh my goodness, at the mid lane, we're going to see them continue that aggression there with Sona going down. Dinter actually got caught out, and that's going to help them out a lot in this fight.
Yep, SGS here gonna even out the gold difference. It was sitting at about 1.5k previously, and they have recovered it to just only 400 gold. So if we're gonna go aggressively onto the Renekton, the minion waves is pushing out. So Renekton, if he does decide to go in for the counter trade, it might not be worth it, as he will take a bit too much damage from the minions. Wow. Darkness gonna waltz into dangerous territories as Choi continuously just pushes out the bottom lane.
Check out the ward positioning here from Darkness. Very, very nice vision that they have on this bottom lane, and that will help Chowie maintain his lead in that 1v1 situation.
Yep,
BB is going to get exposed here as he walks towards the bottom lane. He has no idea what he's in for. In they go. Oh my goodness, they missed the Tempest. BB is going to cleanse the stun, and he's going to escape there from the exhaust. Oh my goodness.
Yep, great flash there being done by BB, dodging, and the juke coming down to prevent Hallelujah from actually landing that resonating strike. So overall, great play there by TPA. And now, as Choi is still going to shove out the bottom lane, they have sent Toys back to mid as they realize he has been suffering a bit too much in the bottom lane against Choi there.
Tofu here seems to be doing pretty decently against Stanley. Just a little bit behind farm, but that's because the wave is pretty big and built up here. Should be able to get some of that. Toy is now level 6, and that makes a huge difference because he's got that Luna Rush.
And Diana with the Luna Rush does have a lot more tag potential. That dash into your face is gonna allow her to throw down her 2 other spells, the Moonfall for the drawback, and slow as well as the damage from the shield. Tofu gonna go aggressively onto the minion wave. Not too much damage going down onto Stanley. He's gonna play it safe for now, because Renekton does still have his dominance up. So if he does go in for the engage, he might take a bit too much damage. Stanley going aggressively onto Tofu, deciding to back off. He does still hit his dominance, and awkward equalizer there, going to be thrown out by Tofu, cancelling it just before the full 5 pumpkins hit the ground.
Right, that was a bit of a weird equalizer there from Tofu. Didn't quite manage to land it well there. Stanley still has the dominance, so Tofu's going to have to watch out. There's the Ignite as well. Really could go down very easily there if Stanley decides to go in aggressively.
Yep, Tofu here now shoved to his turret. Gonna get a little bit poked by Stanley from his Call of the Meek spam. Darkness gonna throw down the pink ward and help you are giving them some extra vision. Giving Hallelujah more room to gank the bottom lane as the Tri-Brush has been rewarded. Tofu here over at the top lane, constantly getting shoved into his turret, and there is almost nothing at all he can do about it.
So they decided to swap the lanes here, despite the fact that they didn't manage to take out the mid turret. Over at the bottom lane, the turret took just a little bit of health damage. Not too much there. HY needs to rush back to lane to prevent Toys here from getting too much damage down onto this mid turret. I mean, losing that turret early on is going to be a very, very big problem in terms of map control.
Yep, losing the mid lane turret will give the opponents more room to move around, and they can go further into the base to try and secure kills. And now Tofu at the top lane isn't really able to do anything much against a Renekton. All he can do
Darkness gets caught out here as he is going to be the target of BB and the rest of the team. Chowie gets exhausted here, but is he going to try to go in there? Are we going to see a teleport coming in from Malphite? HY doesn't attempt to do that.
Well, if he does go in for the teleport, it would be quite easy to spot because the enemy wave is actually in the center, and there isn't any wards at all around the area for him to teleport. So he could teleport to a minion, but it would be very obvious. Standing here, gonna take a little bit of the Flame Spitter poke coming down from Tofu. Not too much though, gonna spam a little bit of those harpoons out. But still, the Crocodile is just way too tanky for Tofu to handle.
So the score right now is pretty even here, just 2 kill lead for the Azubu TPA Assassins. They've got barely under 1,000 goal in terms of goal advantage here.
And this is actually a very close game indeed. Stanley here gonna run over to plant a ward, I think. Yep, a ward has been planted at the entranceway to the blue jungle. And now SGS, you're going to respond to that by taking the dragon very, very quickly. There is a pink ward there, so TPA has no idea that SGS has already started on the dragon. And successfully being able to pick that up, that should be the 1k goal equalizer that will bring the goal gap back to even.
Right, that was a very nice dragon time there. We're going to see Tofu fight against Stanley one-on-one here. We're going to see Toys come in to help him out. And Stanley is going to pick up a kill while Tofu goes down there. The turret now, they face some fire. In the meanwhile, bottom lane there, double kill for Hallelujah. So that was a pretty good trade for the Singapore Sentinels. They lost one at the top. We are going to see HY teleport to the top lane as well to keep his turret safe. But in the meantime, mid turret could go down.
Yep, there could be the potential for that, but the Elise is aware that SGS, Hallelujah, and Darkness is on the way towards the mid lane. Going to retreat as a safety measure. In the meantime, Choi at the bottom lane is happily pushing away, farming up his minions. We have seen Choi done this quite a number of times, and he always ends the game with probably the highest CS. You can see right now, his CS is about 40 above Varus, and it's about 2 champion kills worth of minions there.
Right, that's a really big lead. I think the only saving grace here for BB is the 3 assists that he managed to pick up.
Yep, definitely those 3 assists is going to help him out a little bit. Tofu here going to get engaged upon by Toys, but his movement speed just gets him out of Moonfall range just in the nick of time.
Well, he took a lot of damage in that trade. HY now sent to the top lane, and that makes a little bit more sense because he's got all of that armor. That's going to give Stanley a tough time penetrating.
Good choice there by SGS, going to swap it up. And now with the Malphite at the top lane, and on top of that, he does have the ground slam as well. It's going to reduce some of Renekton's attack speed, because some of the auto attacks coming down from Renekton can be quite painful.
Right, over at the bottom, Chowie is fighting against this 2v1 by himself. Hallelujah going to spot Toys and Sarsky heading towards the bottom lane. Now that Sonic Wave is actually going to send Toys back to his lane. He realizes that he's been spotted. Chowie here suffering in this 2v1. Where is the help that he needs? Hallelujah comes in.
Help has arrived as Hallelujah moves over to the bot lane. We might see a gank here by the Elise. He is camping around the bush area. We might see a potential engage here. A 3v3 fight could very well happen now.
Right, Hallelujah is just hanging around waiting for Darkness to be able to land that stun. And are we going to see it? Yes, the stun does land. In goes Sarsky. We're going to see the Chains of Corruption come in. Shield from Hallelujah to keep them steady. Hallelujah with a beautiful Dragon's Rage that knocks Sarsky back into the fight. Now BB finds himself in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get the Sonic Wave landed on him. Flashes away, cleanses that red buff off of him. But no, Hallelujah wants blood and he gets it. Beautiful, beautiful play there.
Hallelujah, he's playing beautifully this game. And prior to this, he does have the double kill as well. So this 3 kills on top of those double kills is going to give him so much gold advantage. You can see the gold that Hallelujah is currently sitting on. Let's click on the gold there. He is sitting at 4.3k gold, almost the highest in the team, just behind Choi here. But Choi does have 135 CS, so that helps out with his gold quite a bit there.
So the problems right now here for the Singapore Sentinels are still the mid and top lane, where you can see that Stanley and Toys have been doing very, very well. I think BB is the one who's being controlled in this game, but the rest of his team is still performing really well. Yes, Toys coming in, Tofu coming into this top lane to try to drive off Stanley. Stanley tries to get away here, takes a lot of damage, but no equalizer to follow up.
I don't think he would be able to secure the kill with equalizer as well. He didn't really land any harpoons down, so the coordinators. Oh, and do you see it? Engage on to Stanley here. Stanley here, gonna get very, very low. The ignite has been popped. Will they be able to secure the kill? Yes, it does. Dominus is down, so he wouldn't be able to pop up that clutch health boost to help him survive that fight.
Right, so nice gank there, and now they're gonna follow that up by trying to put some damage down on the top turret. HY zoning out Sarsky here as they try to take down this top lane turret. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Chowie is still going up 2 versus 1. We've seen Darkness do some very, very nice roaming, but he has to watch out because that crescendo is going to be off cooldown soon. And once that comes up, they could easily 2v1 him.
Yep, that is true, because the burst coming down from Varus alongside the Chains of Corruption will actually prevent Hallelujah from Arcane shifting away. So he does have to watch for that, but now Tariq has returned back into the lane. So they don't really face the threat of the turret being pushed down as of yet.
HY going up 2 versus 1. Tofu here actually hanging in the sideline. Let's see whether he uses that unstoppable force to initiate. I think they're going to hold off on that idea and just remove the minions.
There is a ward over there. Elise has been spotted. Will they go in for this engage? A nice equalizer can actually serve as the engager for this fight. You can see HY and Hallelujah still camping around the area. They do know that Azubu TPA Assassins desperately want to take this turret down. Tofu here getting very, very low. The equalizer has been popped. Beautiful equalizer there. Toys gonna flash across there. The unstoppable force comes in. Toys is gonna go down here. Sarsky getting very, very low, but Renekton is in the front line. Hallelujah gets the shut down. And now it's 1v1 fight. HY against Stanley with the dominance. He might want to wait till dominance goes down, because those magic damage is actually going to shred away at his health. And now,
in the meantime, there's a little bit of trouble here for Dinter and BB. They've just been getting bullied the entire game. HY under the turret here. He's going to be forced to run away. Stanley is going to fight him under that and be completely unafraid. My goodness, this guy is relentless.
Yep, both of them with the Sunfire Escape is going to roast each other. But that doesn't really pan out to be a kill. Both of them still going to stick to safe playing. But over at the bottom lane, you can see Choi here very happily knocking away at this turret. It's going to go down very, very easily. But at the expense of half of Choi's health pool, but they do manage to secure it. And
wow.
now at
HY just trying to follow up on that. I think Tofu was coming in, but he was way too far away, so nothing gonna happen there. Chowie actually getting caught out by Sarsky here. Gets stunned by the cocoon. They're gonna try to pick up Sarsky, but he misses the mystic shot. But he still gets the kill. The barrier comes up. Dinter's gonna try to close in on him now, and it's gonna be Toys who finishes off Chowie. That was a nice pickup there. Just that little bit of health that he needed to finish off. And the dragon now seems to be the prime target for the Azubu TPA Assassins. Hallelujah coming in to try to put a stop to this, and it looks like they are gonna back off.
Yep, they are a smart choice of them to be afraid of Hallelujah. He is sitting on 5 kills right now. He does have that brutalizer on top of that jungling item, the Madret's claw, to kind of help him with his damage department. Toys are gonna just reward this very easily. And now Hallelujah is gonna go over to the bottom lane to try and defend the turret. The minion wave for the side of Azubu TPA Assassins is building up right now.
So a little bit of a deviation from the traditional blue build here that we see on Chowie. He's not going to go for Blessing of the Elder Lizard. Instead, he's going to go straight for the Blade of the Ruined King, followed up by his BF Sword. So a more late game oriented build here. The thing about blue build Ezreal is that it's really great in early to mid game. It kind of drops off late game. So this is a variation on that.
Yeah, he wants to stay strong in the late game. And I do think going for the...
Oh, a little bit of a catch here onto Tofu as Toys gets a hold of that little rumble. The Yordle now, wow, with a nice dodge on the Crescent Strike. Toys is in trouble here. Equalizer comes down onto Sarsky. Sarsky's in big trouble. He's going to try to jump away with the Repel. Beautiful Dragon's Rage then knocks a couple of people up into the air. Toys getting really low here. Chowie still putting out some damage. Tries to take out Stanley, but 4 members of the Singapore Sentinels are down, and the TPA Assassins walk out of that fight with 1 for 5. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was an ace with TPA Assassins playing this dangerously, all of them with hardly any health left at all. You can see Stanley here with just about 2 bars of health. BB getting very low, if not for his life steal. And the dragon will go down very, very easily with no contest at all coming down from the side of SGS. And here the turnaround has come. SGS was ahead in terms of goal for just a few minutes there, but now TPA has completely turned it around and made the goal gap 2K goal in favor of the TPA Assassins.
Right, so just a bit of misplay there. Toys getting a hold of Tofu early on in the fight kind of allowed them to just split the team up and force Tofu to focus his damage onto a single target. I think that was the main factor there.
Yep, and now Tofu must be feeling quite bad. And now he is going to clear out the minion wave to kind of redeem himself, give him the extra gold to build up the items. Going to rush for the Zonia's Hourglass. Good choice actually, because they do have a lot of bursts coming down from the side of TPA Assassins. They do have the Renekton and the Diana as well. These 2 champions are insane in the burst department.
Right, so Dinter now just clearing up the wards. He's got that Oracle's Elixir. Gotta put even more pressure on the lanes of the Singapore Sentinels. Now that he's gonna take those wards out. Chowie is still looking pretty fat, despite the fact that he got killed there. He's still the richest member. HY here with a nice bait onto Stanley. They actually decide to kick him away rather than fight him. He has become such a force to be reckoned with that they don't even dare to fight him in a 2v1. In the meantime, sorry about that, Chowie picking up the kill at the bottom lane against Toys.
Yep, the two-person gank onto Diana was easily, SGS easily secured the kill. Chowie hardly taking any damage at all. Didn't even have to pop his barrier there. The Oracle onto Dinter is extremely annoying onto the turret as he is trying desperately to ward up his jungle, but the Sona is just running here, there, and everywhere to deward him. But in exchange, SGS does manage to down the top turret. Hallelujah has spotted Stanley out. Stanley here gonna go aggressively. Slice and dice has been popped. The stun has gone down. The stun from Cocoon from Sarki has landed as well. HY is in deep trouble. All of the engagement is going to come down. The more damage is going to come down from the Elise, but he does manage to make it out in time.
Right, that was a good choice for them to disengage, because very easily we could have seen Dinter come in with the crescendo, and we also saw BB was hanging around pretty nearby. So good call there. They didn't burn any summoners, didn't use his unstoppable force to get away. That was pretty good for the Singapore Sentinels.
Yep, BB just going to move to the mid lane to shove out. We might see a Baron contest soon, but I don't think too soon, because both teams are still pretty equal in terms of SGS here going to clear out the waves as fast as possible. They do want to shove all the lanes up. Bottom lane, the minions is building up. They do have the chance to take this turret down. The turret isn't exactly in doesn't exactly have high amounts of health right now. It should be going down in just a bit. In the mid lane, a lot of minions going down.
Oh, Chowie looking for blood. He almost went to go for Toys one-on-one one more time. Seems like he's completely unafraid of going up against a mid laner, an AP mid assassin, even though he's an AD carry.
Yep, he does have two flashes, the Arcane Shift and the Flash, to get out of Diana's face if she does so decide to pile onto him. Darkness gonna buy his own Oracle, gonna walk around the map to the ward. That should help out in the vision department for SGS. HY getting engaged upon by Toys, but he is just so tanky. Despite all that burst coming down, Malphite hardly took any damage at all.
So we are going to see the Azubu TPA assassins now gathering up. They want to try to do something here. They were gathered up at the mid and look like they want to go for a push, but it seems like they're easing up on that. They don't have too much vision across the river, so it's kind of hard for them to camp. They're trying to get more vision around the jungle area so that they can start perhaps catching people off guard in an ambush.
Despite the Oracle pickup by Darkness, there is still a ton of ward inside their jungle. You can see 7 wards on the map for the side of TPA assassins. Darkness here just slowly going to hammer away at those turrets, at those side wards as SGS now pushes down towards the mid lane. They look to down this turret, but there is a Varus and a Diana there, so the minion wave should go down pretty easily. Nope, they aren't going to defend it and instead give it away to SGS. Hallelujah here, gonna safeguard onto a ward to safety.
Right, I like Hallelujah's positioning there. Even though it looked a bit dangerous, he could very easily get over the wall with a ward, and it kind of gave them vision of where exactly Stanley and Toys were. Make sure that they didn't come in around from the side and backstab them.
Resonating strike gonna go down. Not really hitting anything, but the Sona is a little bit out of position. The team is split up 3-2 as Varus and Sona come back to rejoin the team, and now TPA is back to their 5-man strong team. Stun has been thrown down onto Stanley. Not too much going down. HY gonna get engaged upon. And ooh, the Chains of Corruption gonna go down. Tofu here gonna get hit by the second proc of the Chains of Corruption. A lot of damage going down. We do see our first casualty. HY does go down. Choi tries desperately to kite Stanley. Successfully does so. Stanley gonna flash away just in the nick of time. But Sarsky here gonna flash in to throw down a cocoon. Doesn't really connect to anything though. But nonetheless, the trade still is in favor for the side of TPA Assassins. They have traded 1 support for 3 members for the Savages. Choi here going in for an engage. Does manage to successfully take the Diana out. Great play there, right? As just slowly turning this fight around.
Right, so in the end it was a 3-for-2 engage there with the Singapore Sentinels slightly on the losing side. They did manage to get some damage down to the turret, but overall it was definitely in the favor of the Taipei Assassins. Chowie there playing it very well. He stayed out of range throughout the entire fight. You could see everybody trying to dive in on him. Toys as well as Stanley jumping right into him.
And we do see our second deviation away from the blue build Ezreal. He has gone for the Infinity Edge to give him some extra damage. He actually played this build in the TLC as well on his Ezreal. So it seems like Chowie is liking this Blade of the Ruin King into Infinity Edge build for his Ezreal.
Right, so definitely deviating here, and he's probably not going to stick to the blue build. I mean, he hasn't built any of the regular items that you would see. Doesn't even have his Frozen Gauntlet up yet. The Dragon Steel attempt there from Hallelujah just gets out with by the skin of his teeth. That was really scary there.
One stun would have meant death for Hallelujah. As Choi now, seeing that they have lost the Dragon, just going to shove out the mid lane. And we might, not too sure if we'll see a Baron soon, but at this period of time, it could be a huge potential of it happening.
Right, Chowie there kind of failing the arcane shift and didn't get over the wall, but he still managed to pick up that blue buff for himself. That's going to be very helpful. Since he isn't going blue build, doesn't have the usual cooldown reduction that he would have.
He is going to go normal ADC build on his Ezreal, except for the Tears of the Goddess, which is overall a very good item for Ezreal nonetheless, because he is very mana reliant. So that extra mana regen from the Tears of the Goddess would help Ezreal out a lot.
He's going to be able to get the... He's going to finish that off into the Mana Moon very soon. But he might want to opt to go for a Last Whisper instead. Let's see whether he spends his next amount of gold on the Mana Moon. The Mana Moon will give him more damage against squishies in the short run, but, you know, if he doesn't pick up the Last Whisper, then Renekton's going to be very difficult to kill in the next team fight.
And you can see from the previous two team fights that involved Choi and that involved a 5v5 clash, Choi was almost perpetually aiming his Mystic shots onto Renekton as he was just piling onto his face way too hard.
Right, the team now, Azubu TPA Assassins, very itchy for an engage. You can see that they want that fight to go down. Since it is going to be a 5v4, Chowie is at the bottom lane. In terms of turrets, the Singapore Sentinels do have a slight advantage. They've taken out 4 as opposed to 3 on the side of TPA, but it is just a minor advantage here.
Yeah, but you can see the goal gap is about the same. It's still about 2k despite being 27 minutes into the game. TPA not being able to pull off a decisive lead in this game. It's just probably because you can see the Ezreal is so super farmed up. He's gonna pick up the Mana Mune there, and that should give him some extra DPS.
Oh, Hallelujah here taking a bit of poke damage. And I think in these fights, they're gonna have to just allow Chowie to kite. That will be what wins them the fights. Chowie just used... Oh, they're gonna go for the engage here. Hallelujah gets caught out. In they go. They're gonna pick up the kill on him really quickly. The equalizer comes in. And they're just gonna back off out of that fight. They don't want any of that 5v4 action.
Yep, Sarsky and Toys here leading the charge, standing up in the front line, looking to catch someone out of position. But SGS is smarter than that. They are gonna just run all the way back. Gonna hug their turret there and play it safe.
Wow, very nice dodges from all these skill shots here. Azubu TPA Assassins somehow managing to evade most of the poke.
Sandy taking a bit too much damage there, gonna get chipped off a third of his health by the pokes coming down from the Mystic shots. Dinter gonna run into the enemy jungle once again to deward. He does have the Oracle Elixir up. Not too sure if Darkness has his own oracles. He does actually. Gonna just deward as well. Run into the opponent, spots out that ward that is not...
Oh, they've caught Sarsky. Sarsky could be in trouble here. In goes the Unstoppable Force. They're going to stun him as well. The Repel goes down, and he's going to use HY as a trampoline as he tries to get out of that one. Toys now comes in. In comes the Crescendo, locks down 3 champions. We're going to see Tobu pop the Zhonya's Hourglass. Chowie now in trouble as Toys tries to jump onto him. Stanley now is jumped onto him as well, and it's going to be a 1v1 between Stanley and Chowie here as Chowie gets really low. We're going to see Hallelujah try to save him, but it is not enough. They didn't save their AD carry, and now they're in trouble as it's a 2v2 with Hallelujah and Tofu being the ones alive and Stanley and Dinter being the ones alive on the Taipei Assassins.
Yeah, as long as Tofu doesn't have his Leandries, he wouldn't be able to do enough damage onto the Renekton there, which is sitting at about 3,000 health here. Dinter here, gonna get caught out by two members of SGS, will get squished very, very easily. Great positioning there by SGS. Now Stanley here looks to take revenge for his team. Gonna chase after Hallelujah. Nope, gonna swap his attention over to Tofu, but the Electro Harpoon does go down, slowing him in place.
Wow, Stanley is like so scary right now. He is a beast that everybody's just trying to get away from. Looks like Chowie chose to go the route of the Mana Moon. Right? That slows down his last Whisper a little bit. That means that he's not going to be able to deal too much damage to Renekton just yet. But once he finishes that last Whisper, it's going to change things a whole lot.
Yep, and I'm actually very interested to see what Choi will pick up for his last item, because he's almost at his 6th item build already. And you can see his runes there, gonna go for the armor penetration without any magic penetration. HY, just gonna clear up some race there, give him some extra gold. Choi, you're gonna shove out the mid lane. What they want to do now is shove out every single lane, because Baron is actually very, very open for contests right now.
Right, both teams here are super close, so if they do try to go for a Baron, it's going to be either off of an ace or some kind of major team fight. Otherwise, I don't really see either team having a significant advantage.
Yep.
The team that takes the Baron debuff is going to lose the fight.
Choi here gonna just clear out the wave as fast as he possibly can. You can see his farm is already sitting at close to 300 CS, just 30 minutes into the game. Gonna reach his 6th item build very, very soon. SGS here going very aggressively onto the side of TPA. A lot of pokes going down. You can see the players actually screaming nice a lot.
Right, so right now the Azubu TPA Assassins looking for that engage. They want a hard engage onto Chowie, but they're finding it very, very difficult here. He's just so slippery of a champion, and like I was saying, the best thing about Ezreal is that he's a counter to bruisers. Once he picks up that Blade of the Ruined King especially, it's very, very hard to stick onto him. And they're taking full advantage of that here on the Singapore Sentinels.
Yeah, it seems like TPA wouldn't want to engage at all until they have an absolute catch onto Ezreal. All of them just hanging back very, very safely. Choi here gonna give him that extra CDR with the blue buff. Renekton gonna shift over to the top lane to clear out the minion waves.
Right, Darkness in a very, very scary position here. He tries to clear up that ward in the brush. He's gonna actually leave it to Chowie there to do it. And it's going to be very, very tense here for the next couple of minutes of the game. The one advantage that SGS does have is that they do have a teleport for HY, so they might want to try to take advantage of that. Try to go for a split push, because in the team fight, they're pretty even right now.
Yep, HY, split push is exactly what he is going to do. He is just camping out the bottom lane, and with no one from TPA coming to distract him, TPA knows that he does have that teleport, so if anyone shows their face at the bottom lane, SGS will definitely run to do the Baron straight away.
Oh, they're going to go in here. There is that ward. Is he going to be able to teleport in time? We're going to see Malphite go for the teleport. Where is that unstoppable force? They are going to try to look for it here. In they go. He catches out Sarsky. In comes the equalizer. They're going to kick Stanley right back into the fight. Chowie gets caught here by the crescendo, but Stanley is way too low on health to be able to take him out this time, and they're going to be able to pick up a couple of kills here. Now it's going to be the Azubu TPA Assassins on the retreat. Hallelujah looking for that. He's looking for that Sonic Wave. Didn't manage to land it. Actually uses his shield there to get across the wall. BB's in trouble here. He's been tagged by the Sonic Wave, but the resonating strike doesn't come in.
Yep, Hallelujah kind of ran out of energy at the last minute there, so it is very unfortunate there for SGS. Hallelujah landed a beautiful resonating strike onto a BB who is surrounded by two of his allies, but the follow-up doesn't come in. But in exchange, SGS will be able to take out this mid turret fairly easily, with almost no resistance coming in from TPA Assassins at all.
Right, but they have to be really careful here. There's just 3 of them left alive. The rest of the Azubu TPA Assassins coming back alive now. Toys with those home guard boots could very easily catch somebody off guard. The Baron is still up, so that's something that they have to watch out for as well.
The players all is gonna restock on items. TPA here are definitely feeling the hurt from the previous team fight, as they only traded it 2 for 2, but overall SGS did come out ahead. Darkness, they're gonna get caught out. The burst coming down from Toys is way more than enough to take him out, and there goes Darkness. as he gets destroyed. But now the fight will be a 4v5 in favor of TPA, and now they look to be moving towards the Baron. Should be able to contest this with ease. Dinter here gonna just throw down a safety ward. The unstoppable force is still down. HY has been caught out. 4 members of the Taipei Assassins has been stacked on top of each other. Surprisingly, HY didn't go in for the engage. A great unstoppable force there. Gonna catch out all the members of TPA. Sarski here gonna get destroyed very, very easily. Choi in the backlines getting a triple kill from that team fight.
Right, really bad move there from the Azubu TPA Assassins. I mean, they knew that Rumble and HY are both champions that rely on, you know, their AoE ults, and yet they clumped up there and they really got punished for it. Just a terrible position for them to be in as a team, and they got so badly punished.
Yep, SGS here definitely having the definitive lead in this team fight. And you can see Sona didn't even have the chance to pop a crescendo in the previous team fight. It is still off cooldown.
Right, so we're going to see SGS power down the mid lane. They've got about 20 seconds here to get rid of the inhibitor. I think that they should be able to do that. They'll back off after this. Dinter is saying, like, guys, I'm not going to even try to defend. This is impossible.
SGS here now having the definitive lead in this game. On top of the Baron buff, they have a 3k goal lead. You can see all the players still playing very, very focused. That means the fight hasn't ended yet. SGS here going to play this very, very safely. They should be looking to push another lane to further snowball their map presence.
Right, so we're going to see Last Whisper now up on Chowie. That really made a difference in that last fight. He's got his final item to build up. Let's have a look at what he decides to go with. He hasn't really been having too much trouble in terms of survivability, so he might go for an additional DPS item.
Oh, there we go. The Negatron cloak has been built. He might be going either for the Banshee's Veil. He has played it in the TLC. He did go for his Banshee's Veil as his 5th item, but this time he looks to be going for his Banshee's Veil as his 6th. Either that, or there is also the possibility of him going for the Mercurial Scimitar, which gives him the ability to remove debuffs. That means if Diana charges onto him, she wouldn't be able to have the second charge if Choi times his Quicksilver Sash correctly.
Right, the Mercurial Scimitar is a great item, provides tons of damage, as well as some of the defensive benefits that a Quicksilver Sash does as well. So that could definitely be an item that he's looking out for. HY leading the charge here, and Darkness especially staying up front. We're going to see the Singapore Sentinels trying to go for this push here. This is going to be a tough one for them. They've got the Baron buff, so that helps them out a bit. But if Chowie gets caught out, things could very easily go pear-shaped.
Yep, and looking at the composition from TPA, they do have quite a solid wave clearing team in the sense of the Spider, the Elise. They do have Elise with those Spiderlings, and Diana with her AoE Crescent attack to help clear out the minion wave. You can see already it in action. Varus is going to throw down that piercing arrow to clear that last bit of minion wave.
Oh, Chowie just trying to get as many pokes as possible in this fight. You can see he almost got caught out there by the Cocoon. HY standing in the front lines, and even Hallelujah tanks the turret a bit just so that he can get some additional hits there. I think that SGS, what they need to do is slowly chip away at this turret. If they could, they should try to get all 3 waves pushing.
Yep, and the Cocoon came in and Hallelujah was like, nope, Toys here, taking only 2 attacks from the team, gonna take a chunk of health down. Gotta play a little bit more safely because...
Wow, Chowie super aggressive there. He actually arcane shifted into the fight. I don't know, that was a bit risky in my opinion. Hallelujah taking a lot of damage here, but the inhibitor turret is getting very, very low. They've still got that Baron buff on them, so I think they should just wait, regenerate a bit more, and then get into the fight again. This turret will eventually go down. The name of the game here is patience. They need to be patient, and eventually the turret will go down.
All the players here are very, very playing it extremely safe. You can see the turret only at 2 bars of health left. Just probably 2 attacks coming down from Choi. Should be able to secure it. SGS here playing yep, the turret does go down to the final attack coming down from Choi. They are going for this inhibitor now. The Spiderling has been thrown out to try and do some extra damage onto SGS, but that Darkness is gonna get destroyed.
Right, Darkness gets caught out here, and he's going to get immediately killed. Now Tofu gets pulled in by Diana. Equalizer goes out. Chowie's going to take out Dinter. Stanley's trying to get in on Chowie, but Chowie's going to pop his barriers, staying alive so far. In the meantime, HY jumping into the back lines with that unstoppable force. He's going to get taken out by BB. BB now in a bit of trouble as he gets tagged by Chowie. And it's going to be a 3-for-3 here, or rather a 3-for-2 here. And an inhibitor is still alive for the Taipei Assassins. So Singapore Sentinels barely coming out of that with an inhibitor turret.
Yep, and now the Baron buff has all but whittled out. But in terms of map control, SGS has way more map control as compared to Taipei Assassins. And now SGS, as their consolation prize, is gonna give them, is gonna pick up the extra dragon for that 1k gold to kind of like even out the extra death that they had in the previous team fight.
Right, so the top lane there actually was pushing out for the Azubu Taipei Assassins. So one good thing that happened for them, they actually didn't get too much pressure down on this top turret. I think the Singapore Sentinels might probably want to focus all their efforts on taking out the inhibitor before they go for that. The Baron will be up in another 2 minutes. So that's going to be another point of contention for them.
Yep, the supports might want to start warding up the jungle area to prepare for the next Baron fight. You can see the support of SGS having so many wards. He has the Sightstone alongside 2 stack of wards. And on top of that, an Oracle as well. So that's a total of, I have no idea how many wards
11 wards.
11
put down
wards.
So many wards.
That's a lot of wards going down, but all these inhibitors for the side of Taipei Assassins has all but respawned. And now SGS might find some problem contesting this Baron here, because they don't have the extra minion wave pushing out towards the mid lane for the Taipei Assassins.
Right, 284 armor on Stanley here. He is so tanky. There's just not enough magic damage to finish him off.
Yeah, but looking at the armor penetration coming down from the last whisper, it should shred away at about 100 armor from Stanley, but 200 armor is still a lot to contend with.
Right.
And Choi probably has to throw down about 20 shots to take down this huge alligator over here.
So let's see how they go in. The inhibitors are both up for the Taipei Assassins. Baron will be up in less than a minute. It's going to be a very close fight here as both teams kind of get ready. SGS is going to try to position themselves around the Baron. Darkness already with a huge amount of warding.
And I would say this is actually the tightest game between TPA and SGS we have seen so far. Usually we do see either team having a definitive lead, but here SGS and TPA playing extremely well. Stanley over at the mid, gonna shove out the lane, and we can see the backlines off. TPA is a little bit out in the open without Renekton for protection.
Yeah, they kind of split up here with Stanley very far in front. I don't know how this is gonna work for them. HY looking for the opportunity. He's going to go for BB. He's caught BB. BB's in trouble now. In comes the True Shot Barrage. Hallelujah's going to stick onto him. He pops the cleanse. The Equalizer follows up as well. In the meantime, Stanley and Chowie go on one-on-one. As always, it's that eternal fight between the AD carry and the top laner. And we're going to see the Azubu Taipei Assassins on full retreat right now. Chowie manages to tag onto Dinter. He's in trouble now. He's going to flash over the wall. Hallelujah, in the meantime, has found his own target. Sarsky is in his eyes. And those little spiderlings are actually going to keep him safe for a little while, but not for long here as the repel gets used and Chowie picks up the kill. We're going to see them try to go in for the base right now.
Yeah, with only
They're
Diana
just powering down.
With only Diana and Sona up on the side of TPA, can they hold off this onslaught coming down from SGS? SGS has down the first inhibitor. Tofu looks to be tanking the turret as it gives time for Choi to try and down this Nexus turret. Tofu, Toys goes in for the engage. Dinter here gonna get very low. The destruction coming down from all 5 members of SGS is just gonna blow up the support coming down from TPA. And now Toys here looks helplessly as the Nexus turret gets destroyed, and now the Nexus is almost naked. The second Nexus turret is gonna go down. Toys here looking to take someone out. The engage goes down. He does manage to secure 1 kill, but in exchange he does go down. Choi here just tanking Varus up, and now the Nexus turret is almost down to no help at all, but TPA does manage to successfully defend against this. Wow, what a play. Overall, this game is just so tight.
That was crazy. BB there with so much attack speed. You do realize that Varus' passive gives him additional attack speed every time he kills a champion, and you could see that he was like firing away like a machine gun. My goodness, what's gonna happen? You know, HY has teleport. I don't. He has
We
that
might see
teleport.
that happen.
He's got 29 seconds in here. He's got the teleport.
There
Nexus
is-
here.
Oh, TPA here gonna contest the Baron, but little do they know that HY is probably laughing in his seat right now.
I don't know. Is he gonna go in there or is
Yeah.
he gonna wait? Let's see how this works out for them. 10 seconds until he is back up. They are
Well,
starting to move back towards the base.
And now we do see Tariq trying his best to run over to the enemy base to try and land that few last hits onto the Nexus turrets.
I don't know if Tariq's gonna be the one to do it.
Tariq does have gens. The Nexus does have a lot of gens as well.
But this is a close one. Things could still go well for the Taipei Assassins. They've got that Baron buff. BB got so much gold off of that last engage, 3,000 gold. There's going to be one more fight here before the game ends.
Yep, Tariq is over there already in the middle of the lane, just shoving out the minion waves. What can TPA do against this onslaught? The SGS is just doing so extremely well this game. All those engaged team fights, especially the engages coming from Malphite were so excellent that Azubu TPA Assassins weren't able to respond to it.
Right, this is going to be so close though. The goal gap is still really small considering the fact that, you know, we are 45 minutes of the game. They're going to go for the engage. Tofu gets caught out here. He flashes away. Chains of Corruption catches onto him. He's going to use the equalizer. Now Stanley's in the back line trying to deal a lot of damage, but he's gotten caught out himself. Hallelujah kicks away BB. He's not going to let his AD carry deal any damage, and it looks like the Singapore Sentinels are going to sweep it up. Sarsky is low on health. He goes down. BB goes down. It's going to be an ace with 70 seconds on the revive. There's no way the Taipei Assassins are going to survive this one, and it is going to be the Singapore Sentinels walking away with the Nexus. A brilliant game for the night.
Wow, GG, well played. What a great